Welcome to Senior Insights. My name is Cynthia, and I have a really interesting topic for you today, and I think that you can all probably relate to it. I'm going to tell you how I selected it, and we'll just go from there. You know how I've been having this decluttering phase for this week anyway? Well, last week when my friend Ann was here, we went up to the bunkhouse, and I discovered that I had 3 large totes full of pictures that I didn't realize that I had. Somewhere in the back of my mind, I knew I had them because I'm doing another project for you guys, and I couldn't find all the pictures that I thought I had. So anyway, I brought them down yesterday, and I was going, what my plan was that I was going to just have a casual chat with you. I was going to do a video while I was going through the photos, and then I would, show you one occasionally that I thought you might be interested in. But I didn't get very far because I came across something that just kind of blew my mind, and I wasn't able to film it because I was just kind of blown away. You're saying, how can you be blown away with pictures? Well, I came across pictures of the birth of my daughter. Her name is Erica, E-R-I-K-A. She gets upset if anyone spells it with a C. But the pictures of her could have been any child. It could be your child. It could have been her older brother, her older brother. So I'm just using that as an example. As I started to go through, I was delighted that I saw the picture. It was in the delivery room. Pretty cool. At that time, it was when people were actually taking video tapes of the birth. Well, that didn't happen. But there were some pictures that I thought were kind of neat. But as I went through that particular stack of pictures, I saw my husband greeting his baby for the first time. I saw the baby. I saw my 2 sons greeting the baby. And then I saw my mother and my father. And for some reason, it just hit me. I couldn't film that video. I became so, I don't know what you'd call it, emotional. It's happening to me again. It just came over me like this profound grief. And I don't mean this to be a Debbie Downer thing. I know that you've all felt it, and you feel it every so often. Now, my husband's been gone 11 years, more than 11 years now. Most of the time, I'm perfectly fine. But when I saw him in this picture, so happy, and we were young, greeting his baby. It just brought back a flood of memories. And then the intimacy of the brothers meeting their sister. But then my mother and my father greeting their new grandchild and how happy they were. And I know it's probably hard to believe because of my age, but my parents have died within the last 5 years. My mother was only 20 years older than me. So I just couldn't go on. I was planning on doing this video, and I just couldn't do it. So, in true to my fashion, I said, just get your act together and do something productive. So, of course, I have the hot tub. So I went outside, I got all my cleaning supplies and everything. I got in the hot tub, the empty hot tub, because I'm cleaning. Remember the ring around the ring around the bathtub ring? I'm cleaning that, and I'm sprucing it up is what I'm doing. One bite at a time, like I do everything. I sat down in that empty hot tub, and I cried. And I just said, how did this happen? I don't understand how he could be gone. And there's actually another story, but I don't think I can go into it in this because, I mean, this is a story in itself. But how those little children have also changed. And how our relationship has changed. You know, how special that was. All of you who have children have experienced it. All of you who have loss have experienced it. It can hit you out of nowhere, doing nothing, grief. I tried to, do a little bit of research so I could act like I knew what I was talking about. All I can tell you is just from my heart, not any research that I've done, is it never goes away. It gets better. But then all of a sudden you get gobsmacked, smacked. And it's there as fresh as anything. Do you remember those wonderful times? Do you have pictures like I do of such intimate moments in a family's life? The birth of a child, in the hospital room, in the delivery room, and then in the hospital room. And then when your family members are greeting, I had more pictures, but I didn't want to bore you for one thing. I have my sisters greeting the baby, And once again, it's my daughter Erica, but it could be any baby. It could have been her older brothers. And I'm probably going to see those as I go through the pictures as well. But it just had such a profound impact on me. I sat outside in the hot tub with no water in it, sitting there crying all by myself. I cried about how could this happen? How could this have happened? Poor me. I'm all by myself. Remember, it's all about me. And I've done so good. I have this successful YouTube channel that I'm very proud of. I don't know what to say. But it comes in waves. There are times when nothing phases me, nothing, I miss my husband and everything, and I find when I reminisce, when there's some kind of trigger that something he used to say or something that he used to do, that will trigger some feelings. But this was down and out, unbelievable to me. Now, what do you do when something like that happens? I have to figure it out. We all have to figure it out. Maybe some of you have figured it out. But I don't think that it's a journey that ever ends. I think it's a linear journey that just keeps on going, and then suddenly the pain returns. I almost feel like he passed away yesterday. So how do you move on? And some of you are facing that now. Some of you have husbands that have had stroke and are in rehab and are not doing well. Some of you have spouses in assisted living and they're on hospice. And some of you know that the end is near for your spouse. In some ways, it's kind of nice because you can psychologically prepare a little bit. But just looking back at those happy memories, that's not to say every memory was happy. I'm not saying that. I'm saying there was a lot of happy memories. And just looking back at those, how do you get over it? How do you get over it? Well, I think what you do, just like with everything else, you acknowledge that you have those feelings, that you have that tremendous loss. You say, okay, now you know, what are you going to do about it? And you try to live your life so that your loved ones, even those gone, would be proud of you, would be happy for you. Try to edify them and remember them in good ways. But it's kind of like a cut that you have that heals. It scabs over and it heals, but you have a scar, so it never really heals. I don't even know if I'm making any sense because I'm just talking off the cuff. I'm totally overwhelmed. And I have to admit, I've let it get me. I've let myself feel sorry for myself. And it's not necessarily a good thing. So I have to pick myself up, brush myself off, and continue moving on. And hopefully by sharing this story, you will understand that you're not alone, that what you feel isn't unique or anything that someone else hasn't felt. And sure, we feel things differently. We're grown. We've been raised differently. We're from different cultures. We're from different backgrounds, different religions, all that stuff. We're all different. But I'm thinking that grief is grief, and it's probably that for everybody. So I'm going to take a deep breath. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start filming videos of me going through my pictures and just chatting with you. Maybe sharing how I feel when I reach something that is meaningful or thought-provoking or we could all learn from. But I don't want you to feel sorry for me. This wasn't, well, I feel like poor me. I feel like poor me. But sometimes, not always, but this did evoke that in me, like, how can this possibly be? So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something from it, though, that you're not alone. And I can't believe that I'm sharing, like, intimate parts of my life with total strangers. How weird is that? But I feel like you're my friends. And some friends you can't talk like this to. So thank you for being my friends. And I'll see you on the next video. And hopefully we'll have something cheerful to talk about. I love you all.